Hi, this is Bill Prater, and welcome to Supercharging Business Success. Our mission is to provide you with timely, provocative, and actionable resources that inspire, promote, and accelerate your quest for business excellence. Today's episode is The Secret to Good Cybersecurity, a business leadership perspective. We'll do that in just 7 minutes with Keyaan Williams. Now, Keyaan is the founder and managing director of Cyber Leadership and Strategic Solutions, CLASS-LLC, a professional services firm that helps global clients with cybersecurity strategy, risk management, and workforce development. His professional experience includes 2 decades of corporate information security and risk management programs in large regulated enterprises. His reputation for leadership was established when he led the operational transformation of the Information Systems Security Association, ISSA, as the president of the National Board of Directors, and there's a lot more. Keyaan, thanks very much for being with us here, sir.
My pleasure.
So tell us, who is your ideal client?
You read my bio, and it sounds like we only work with very large companies, but my ideal client really is a smaller medium business. 66% of SMBs fail after they have a data breach or a cyber attack. So my personal preference is to work with those smaller businesses to help them stay in business.
So what is the specific problem that these small businesses, or any business, what is the typical problem that they have that you solve?
Well, all businesses struggle understanding what security means. Part of that is the security industry. People in this profession talk in technical terms, and they have a hard time transitioning or translating that information into a business decision. And so one of the things I help do is it goes back to the old school decision support systems, where I tell people what they need to know so they can make an informed decision that's going to benefit the organization and lead them to success.
So now I know that if somebody has a security breach, they're going to have crashed and burned already. Prior to that happening, what symptoms might people notice that would prompt them to get on the phone and give you a call, Cam?
Well, what's interesting is that industry research says that it takes 9 months, 270 days, for a maturization to determine, to detect, or to identify that they've had a breach or that they've had any kind of cyber attack, because the attackers are very stealthy and their intention is not to get caught unless you're dealing with ransomware. The objective for a business owner, regardless of the size of the business, is to make sure that they don't focus on compliance, but they focus on good practices that are going to protect the organization, and then they invest in incident response so that when a problem is found, they fix it as quickly as possible and get back to normal.
So what are the common mistakes that business owners and their team, their senior team, make time after time trying to solve this problem you've identified on their own?
Well, so there's 2 categories that answer the question. If the company is investing in security, most companies only invest in obligations that are defined by a regulation or a contract. If you go back 2 years, have happened were in companies that were compliant with their regulations. And so it highlights that compliance is not the answer to the problem, it's the bare minimum. The other problem is that some companies don't invest in security whatsoever. The National Association of Corporate Directors identified that 61% of corporate executives will ignore security concerns to achieve a business outcome, but security concerns and failures in that area put 66% of companies out of business. So there's a mismatch between what's driving the business owner and the things that they need to put in place to stay in business.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that people might do. One single valuable action that anybody listening to us now could take right away today that would help move that needle towards being secure a little bit down the road?
One of the best things that you can do is understand your environment. I've talked to scientists, I've talked to educators, I've talked to professionals. The consensus is that most people have no idea what they have, And so doing an inventory and knowing what you have is the start, because the inventory is going to allow you to make sure that you patch, that you update, and that you secure the things that are important to the organization. And that doesn't require a consultant. It doesn't require a third party. That's just due diligence in managing your business.
Okay, excellent. So I know you've thought about a gift, a free resource. So what's the valuable free resource that you've selected to offer to our listeners, and where would they go on your website to find that?
Well, actually, my free gift is a community gift. There is an organization called the Center for Internet Security. They're a global organization. They have well-defined practices. And instead of forcing something that's my bright idea, I thought it would be valuable to share with the audience. CISsecurity.org has critical security controls that they document, that they explain, that every organization should at least look at the first 6 and work to put them in place. Where we come in is we help people when they don't understand some of the controls that they're looking at.
Okay, so somebody takes that gift, they say, thank you very much, and then how in the world of you? So what's the best way, Keyaan, for somebody to go to you directly?
Well, to get to me directly, you can email me at keyaan.williams@CLASS-LLC.com, or you can go to the website, CLASS-LLC.com, and the website describes the services. It also has a contact us page, and it is a great way to get in touch with us and categorize your request so we know how we can best provide support.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that has no hyphen in it. That's CLASS-LLC.com.
Well, it's CLASS-LLC.com. I get used to saying the name, but there is a hyphen.
Okay, that's the reason I wanted to clarify that. Okay, perfect, because I knew that because I looked it up. So we got a minute and a half left. Perfect for me to say to you, I asked you 6 questions. I didn't ask 7. Keyaan, so what's a question that you were hoping that I would ask? So what's the question, and then give us the answer to the question that you're now going to pose to yourself.
Well, if we are looking at this from the perspective of business leadership, the best question to ask that didn't come up is, how do we build a governance framework that focuses on risk management? I am one of the founding members for the Private Directors Association for the Atlanta chapter. And within the association, one of the things that we talk about is just leadership and governance. Most organizations struggle to get the leadership of the organization to understand, what does security mean, how does it work, and how do we do it? The answer to most of your questions is really developing a policy at the board of directors or the corporate level, and then the policy influences all of the actions that you take for security. Me and my cohorts in the company are a good partner, is that we can help organizations define the policy and the approach and tailor it for the company and how you operate, so that you can solve the problem without getting distracted by all of the buzzwords and by all the industry language and by all the things that people are selling. We're really a strategic advisor, and through our advice, we're pointing people in the right direction. And I think starting at the top, focusing on governance and leadership, is the solution to most of the security problems that organizations are facing.
That's fantastic. That really resonates with me, particularly when you say, start at the top, develop strategy before you try this or that or the other sort of a bright, shiny potential solution. So thanks, Keyaan, for spending your time with us.
It is my pleasure to be here.
Great. So everybody, in closing, let's focus on this single fact, and that is this, that businesses do not become extraordinary in a single instant. Instead, they get there as the result of the owner, you and I, learning and then applying a proven combination of having the right mindset, a dedication to a system of management, and third, leveraging high-performance teams. So, Keyaan, once again, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.